welcome back to my channel. Here's another tutorial for setting a preparer and approver fields on purchase order form on ERPNext. Setting this up will also cover workflows which help implement levels of authority or chain of command in your ERPNext system. This customization includes adding custom scripts, customizing forms, adding workflows, and optional, adding custom print format. So let's get started. Here in your ERPNext home, under Administration, click Customization. Then here, go to the Reports and Masters and click Client Script under Customization. Click Add Client Script button on the top right. You will be redirected to another page named New Client Script. Now name the doc type under Purchase Order Document. Choose Form for the Apply To, and click Enable checkbox. Let's now add the script. Now I have inserted our script. This script will help for setting the value for what will be added later for fields preparer, preparer name, approver, and approver name. This is space for when a form is loaded and a workflow action. Adding fields and creating workflow will be discussed later in this tutorial. Now click Save, and now you have created a custom client script for purchase order. Here in your ERPNext home, to get to the purchase order, click the buying module. Then here, scroll down to the Reports and Masters and click the purchase order document. Now, click the three ellipses on the top right corner and you can see the drop-down menu and click Customize. You will be redirected to this Customize Form page for purchase order. Here, you can add, remove, edit fields as per your liking or whatever you need for your ERPNext system. For this tutorial, we'll be adding preparer and approver fields under the More Information section. So we need to find the More Information field. Go to the third page of the field table. We will now add 4 additional fields for approver, approver name, preparer, and preparer name. You can do this by clicking the Add Row button on the bottom left of the table. Now, let's change the settings for the approver field. Click the Edit button. Choose Link for the type. This means this field will be linked to a doc type. Type 0 for length, and type User for option. Scroll down and click Allow on Submit, and scroll down again and check the Read Only checkbox. The settings for the preparer field are the same as the approver. You just need to uncheck the Allow on Submit checkbox. For the approver name settings, choose Data for type. We have chosen data since the information for this field is fetched from another user who will access the document, and he or she will be set in the approver field. That's why we will set the fetch from to approver.full_name. Then we will check Fetch if empty and Allow on Submit checkboxes. Scroll down and we will also check the Read Only since this is a data type and we don't want this to be editable. Also, the settings for the preparer name field will be the same as the approver name. Just change Fetch from to preparer.full_name and uncheck Allow on Submit. Now let's close this and click Update. You can see that it automatically generates their name field, so it is important to name it according to your code or vice versa. To create a new workflow, here in your ERPNext home, click Build, or search it on the search bar at the top left. Now, click the workflow under Models element. Let's now add a workflow by clicking the Add Workflow button that is located on the top right of this page. For this tutorial, we will set the workflow name to Purchase Order Workflow. Then assign it to a document by typing Purchase Order to the document type. Also, check the Is Active checkbox to set this as the document's default workflow. Scroll down to State section and you will see a table for the document states. We will set 5 document states for the purchase order document. Setting states is depending on your company's levels of authority, so you are free to change and customize it. We will now create the first state named pending. We will set the doc status to 0, the update field to status, and the update value to pending. We will set the only allow edit for the purchase user. Let's add 4 more rows for the states for review, for approval, approved, and cancel. And we will set the doc status for approved to 1 and cancelled to 2. Now let's change status to all the update fields. For the update value, let's just name it just as the state value. For the workflow state for review, let's set the only allow edit for field to purchase supervisor. And for the remaining workflow states, let's set it to the purchase master manager. To explain this table, it shows the states of a document, and the user was an authority to edit the document. Now scroll down to the transition rules, and now let's add transitions to the transitions table. This is rules for how states are transitions, like next state and which role is allowed to change state. Adding transitions will define the transition of state in the workflow. To explain this table, the state column is the document states assigned chronologically, and when the purchase user clicks the submit for review on his or her created form, the next state of the form is for review. And for the state for review, the purchase supervisor user has 2 options: to submit for approval or to return it for rework. If the action chosen would be submit for approval, the next state of the form will be for approval. And when the action chosen is for rework, it will go back to the state of pending, which the purchase user can edit the form. When the state of the form is for approval, the purchase master manager option is to return for review, return for rework, or approve the document, and so on. So in simple terms, the next state is based on what the user action is. After filling up this table, you can see the workflow state field, and it is already filled in. It will create field that represents the workflow state. As you have seen in our script before, we have a condition checking the workflow state to fetch the preparer and approver's data. Now click save and you are done. We are back here at the buying module, and let's try what we have customized in the purchase order form. But first, click the profile icon on the top right corner of the page and click reload to clear the cache. After it reloads, let's now click purchase order in your shortcuts and add the purchase order. This user has a role check for purchase user. That's why I can access the buying module and create a purchase order form. You can see the state in this form is not saved. Now, let me just put some required information in this form. And as you can see in the more information section, you can see my email and name on the preparer and preparer name field. Now let's click save and the state of the document will change for review. And now you can see that the state of this document is for pending. Now, I will click for submit for review. And then now you can see that this document state is for review. And you will see that I don't have any action option for this document. And now I will log into another account. This user has a role check for purchase supervisor and purchase master manager. This is just for the sake of demonstration, but in a real scenario, there could be 2 users for these 2 roles or the other. And as you can see, I have an action for submit for approval and return for rework. If I click return for rework, the user who created this form can edit it. But now, I will click for submit for approval. And because I have also a purchase master manager role, I can see the state of the form is for approval. And I have also the action option to return for review, return for rework, and approve. And we now know what would happen if I chose the first two options. But now let's click approve. And now the document is approved. And you can see it on its status. Now let's check the more information section. And now you can see the approver and approver name details. So that's it. Thank you for watching. And I hope you learned from this tutorial. And see you next time.